Good evening and welcome to episode 5 of Saga Live Skill Development Session. That is a really awkward title.
Yes, it is.
But I tried my best. Brett just waved us in, so we're going to get the show started very shortly. We are going to wait till 9 o'clock to get everybody in the room so that we can absolutely go for it.
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock, not 9 o'clock. Abra and I will not be standing here for 2 hours talking about nothing before we go to Fighty Land.
That would really be bad.
That would be really awkward.
Nobody wants that.
More awkward than what we're really at right now.
Alright, we're just waiting.
We're just waiting for some people to join in. I'm going to check and see if I like how this looks. I do for the most part.
We have one person who might be Brett.
You got one person already?
No, I don't.
It might be you for all we know.
It might be me.
Did you share it on your timeline?
Not yet.
Share it on that timeline. So if you're joining us, and this is a live video, don't just watch it. Share it with some friends. I'm not very musical.
No, that was terrible.
That was super terrible. Terrible.
That's why.
How's our audio coming in? Let's see here. Hello, my friends. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I wasn't playing the audio.
Yeah, it's okay. We don't have to worry about it that much. Sounds good.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
All right. How many people we got in here? What's
One.
the time? Still one.
Still one, so we're gonna
Still
wait.
one, so-
We're gonna
Well,
wait.
there's 2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes till Saga Live.
Yes, we have fun things planned for you tonight.
Remember, that's the microphone.
We
seat.
have fun things planned for you tonight.
Yes, we're going to talk into this so that we can look at this. It's like the potted plant from Singing in the Rain, right?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
I'm going to talk into this plant.
Yes.
Darn talkies having to figure out how to hide them microphones. They were huge back then.
Right? And then they went away.
Brett is so annoyed with us.
What else is new?
Well, I actually do like that movie. So.
It's not a bad movie. I mean,
Could you turn the light this way just a little bit?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like we're getting a little bit of a black hole over here.
I don't call it a black hole.
Going live. Anybody in the room yet?
Nope, still just one.
cool.
Might be more than that for all we know.
It might be.
That feels better.
There's
That feels better.
There's 2 eyes right now.
Oh.
3 eyes.
Oh, 3 eyes. Hello, people. Hey, how you doing? What are you?
I'm
Four
just checking
eyes.
to see how the light looks. A little bit behind.
We're gonna get started
Oh, we really
real
do have
quick.
more people.
There's 4 eyes.
4 eyes.
5 eyes.
Here's me walking around at some point.
Yeah, because it's alive.
This is behind a few seconds.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to just Command R it. Control R, Command R.
What are you doing?
Resetting the
Oh,
feed.
okay.
There's a little bit more caught up.
Sounds good.
Start talking to people.
Logan's here.
Hi, Logan.
Oh, no, that's
How
not
are you
Logan.
doing?
Logan's doing his bullshit sob dude.
Shh. Language.
And that's coming from me.
All right. For everybody that's in here, what time is it?
7 o'clock.
Time to get started. How are y'all doing tonight? Feel free to say hi. We're just going to check in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to go right into our top-down check-in. This is Saga Live Skill Development Session.
Number 5.
Day number 5. Number 5. 5 is a number. Johnny 5 is alive.
It's also a V, but you know.
For
5.
V for Vendetta, we're going to have some fun. We're going to actually do a lot of really cool stuff today. We're going to be focusing on, again, we're always going to be going through our top-down check-in, our action flow. We're going to stick with action flow today, no Rex today. So for those of you that are trying to preserve your back after a lot of training with Abra and I the last couple of days, this is a good time for you. We're going to go through sticks, and we're going to start building in stick defenses. I totally missed striking arts with the S series. We're going to do more defensive counters for the S series, and then again sticks, and then we're going to follow that up finally with a CQC flow that Abra has developed for us to go through. With all that said, if you'd like to join us, we're just going to go right into our top-down check-in.
As we should.
And Abra, why don't you lead the way?
No, you're going to.
Okay.
Because you're better at that.
All right. Body awareness, warming everything up. If you've been sitting down all day, this is the first thing you need to do is just start moving things around. So we're going to start with our neck and head. Feel the weight from the head into the neck, into the tops of the shoulders. As you drop it down to your chest, feel how your head and neck connect to your chest. As you roll around to the back, feel how it connects to the back. Start touching your head if you want to add a little bit of weight and pressure to it. pull it around a little bit. Focus on isolation and activation, but also try and notice the connection to the rest of the body. If you want to look left and right, you can do that with your hands. You can just do that with your head itself. Mix things up. All right, let's go into the shoulders. Shrug up and drop them down. Shrug up, look like Frankenstein's monster. Drop them down and shrug them up and drop them down. Big shoulder circles. Open up through the back and crunch the chest. Squeeze through the back, crunch the chest, crunch the back, crunch the chest, back to back. Big circles. All right, arms go out. Big Iron Man repulsor blast. Push through those palms. Abra.
I am pushing through the palms.
Push harder. Open up that trash compactor and grab your arm, bring it across your body, and shake it out a little bit, and grab your other arm and bring it across your body. Again, we're just doing recommended exercises. Your goal right now is to go through your entire body, top to bottom, and try and find the parts that you need to work for you. You might not be as stiff as we are in certain areas.
I like this little shoulder shimmy happening over here.
Shoulder shimmy. Let's shoulder shimmy.
Huge shoulder shimmy.
All right, I'm going to go for my chest now. Again, this is my little recommendation. I like to go from the hips and move it around. Just like that.
The isolation.
The isolation. Got some of that Metropolis-style belly dancing. Down low.
You can't just reference that now as though like you've always known.
As if I've always known. Brett made us watch Giorgio Moroder.
Yes.
Moroder's amazing 80s.
From 84.
84 version of Metropolis, which is basically an hour-and-a-half long badass music video with apparently a Razzie-nominated Freddie Mercury song.
And his score was nominated for Razzie too.
Oh, that's terrible. I like the score. Let's do the hips. Let's just open up the legs, kick out a little bit, since we're going to be moving more than we do in the morning routine. Just either kick or raise your knee however you can. Just open it up. All right, I want to do some hip drives. Basically kind of like a deadlift from the ground. Open that up a little bit. If you want, you can go all the way up and kick out and bring it down.
I do like that.
Kick out.
It's like you're skiing and then kicking.
Ski, raise up. Make sure you're dropping your hips forward, getting through the leg. Make sure you're firing your glutes a little bit so that you don't strain your lower back. All right, now to the knees. I'm just going to actually do these kind of like lunge transitions. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to work my way into these lunge transitions.
And since right now we are warming up, it is good to be a bit more dynamic than static in your movement.
Notice how I've just progressively worked my way lower and lower rather than starting down here. And now I'm kind of going in to these kung fu stretches. I'm building up my range of motion. It's like running the rack in a gym. It's like going from the 10-pound weight all the way up to the 100. Good. All right, now let's get some ankles going. Let's do just like a little bit of shuffling. However you want to do that. Try not to fall. And then now press through and bounce up on both if you can. Trying to stay in the ball of your foot. And then let's do this. Let's squat down as low as we're capable of with our feet flat to the ground and push up and through and drop back down. Up and through and drop back down. Ball the foot to ball the foot to heel. So from heel to ball the foot to ball the foot to heel. All right. Real quick, let's do some knees to chest, just to raise them all the way up, just because.
Why
You know,
not?
Abra likes them.
Abra does like
Yeah, let's just walk around really cool like this, like Nick Cage and Wild at Heart. I made Brett not smile. He kind of just gave me the death glare. All right, I think that's it. Let's do a little bit of flow. So when we go from top-down check-in to flow, all I want you to do is I just want you to move from top to bottom. It's kind of an action flow drill. However, you can progressively get to the ground and then start adding a little bit of travel. So maybe I'm doing these kind of gorilla side shuffle sort of things. You do something.
We do front gorillas then.
All right.
And again, you want that knee bend and just pushing forward.
Now maybe I'm going to do a forward roll. And just come back up, just starting to move the body.
I'm going to do a backward roll.
Well, maybe I'll do a sideways roll.
Well, fine.
I love using rolls as a way to feel how you can move the body in all directions and really warm it up.
I'm going to just do
Some crawls.
some crawls.
All right. Then maybe I'll do an inverted crawl. I hate inverted crawl with a little bit of get up and go.
I was gonna do that.
Oh, you can do it.
I can do it. You're right.
You can do whatever you want.
I can.
It's your world.
Do some kickouts actually.
Kick through little shuffly thingy.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we're working in all motions. We're trying to get our body really activated to the ground. I can do kind of like our little sprawl roll low. Come back the other way. Crawl through. We're just warming up with natural movement. It seems silly, but have fun and explore.
Pop my hips up. Not really do a shrimp, but just kind
Little
of
bridge walks.
little bridge walks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's call that for now then. So now, you're blocking the mic. Now let's go into our actual action flow technique. So Brett, if you want to reset the clock, we'll go from now. How much time have we got?
Well, you got 10 minutes now.
Let's bust out a 10-minute action flow progression. Today's techniques, we're going to be focusing on some action flow styled cartwheel work. So when I say action flow styled, what I mean is that there's progressions. It's non-gymnastic directly. It might have a gymnastics influence. It's about giving you the training to be able to use your body to create a move like the cartwheel and put it into combinations such as fight choreography or start building it into rec flow. It's just to help you build that body awareness in the cartwheel shape and direction. So the first thing that we're going to do is Abra's going to teach her own little version of like a hand progression with it. So just teach what you were showing me upstairs.
Do we want to move the mat? Or
We should move the mat. So just so that everybody's aware, we are not saying you need to move the mat.
If you have a mat, please use it if you need to.
Yes, we are just going to move the mat
And
because we will have more space for this. If you have a limited amount of space, that's okay as well. But we are just going to put this down for now. So go ahead and teach them while I'm doing this crazy stuff in the back.
Okay, so some of you have done your conditioning workouts with me, and we did side gorillas, which actually we might do again tomorrow. Side gorillas, you're basically just putting your hands to the side and jumping with your legs, just transitioning from side to side, putting the weight
Abra,
into
can you
your
go
hands.
a little bit more over there?
Yes. Putting the weight into your hands and lifting your hips up. That's a beginner motion to kind of get the cartwheel down. And then a progression using similar mechanics is you can come down onto your hands, knees bent, and just kind of lift your hips up. Do 1 foot at a time in this case. You're going 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and 1, 2.
Stay over there.
We're good? 1, 2. I'm going circularly, so it's a little difficult. 1, 2,
There we are.
and 1, 2. Just to get used to getting your hips up like that and your legs up.
Way to frame me out for that one, Brett. So what Abra's showing you is a way to really just start with your hands loaded into the ground, being able to start lifting yourself up off the ground by basing into your hands and now moving. The difference between what she's showing you and where we're going to go is that we're going to start without our hands on the ground and then pick our feet up. So it's really about that transition in the movement. So I really like that exercise. I really like planting, kick, kicking. Planting, kick, kicking, whichever leg goes first, whichever is most natural for you. The next thing that we're going to talk about is I have kind of 3 basic types of cartwheels I like to talk about. I'm talking about a lot of talking about.
Yes, you are.
I have 3 basic types of cartwheels. I have a ninjutsu cartwheel. I have a cartwheel that I just kind of refer to as a capoeira cartwheel. It's not from capoeira, but I learned it in my form of kung fu, where my teacher taught something called African ground fighting, which is supposed to feel like a precursor to capoeira. And then you have your gymnastics cartwheel. To explain the gymnastics cartwheel real quick, without hopefully killing myself in this tiny space, this might not be how a high-level gymnast would do it, but I'm going to give you the example of the idea. It's a very still shape, it's very extended, it's very open, and then you roll through trying to keep extension around your whole body the entire time. We're not requiring that. What we're going to be looking for is the other 2 types, either ninjutsu or capoeira style. I might end up giving those different names in the future, but let's break those down real quick. For my ninjutsu style cartwheel, I'm going to start low to the ground, as if I'm being sneaky. I'm going to throw my hands to the ground, similar to how Abra was teaching what she was doing. And then I'm going to throw my feet over my head, but my feet are going to stay on this side of my body. They're not going to go over my head. So I throw myself down as if I'm going into a dive roll, and then I kick both feet. Looks really boring and really basic, but it's a great way to get started. Why don't you try doing one of those?
I don't even know if I've ever done one.
Do it from the same direction I started, just because we want to be mindful of the space.
Yes, the space. So I'm down here. Which foot do you have forward?
Whichever.
Okay. And so then my feet are going to go that way.
Great. Perfect. So all we're doing is that if I'm coming towards the camera, I can either throw my body completely to the behind of my legs, or I can stay in the front. If I throw it to the behind, I'm going to almost twist through a little bit, and then I can end coming into the frame.
In a fighting stance too, if you want.
If I keep my feet in front of me, then I'm going to be a little bit turned around. So depending on what you want to work on, just putting your hands on the ground, almost like you're going through a dive roll, throwing your feet over your head and coming up is really the goal here. We're not doing a fully extended leg cartwheel. The legs absolutely can be bent, and they probably should be. We're trying to make this a very sneaky little move. Very quiet. Have some fun with it. All right, for this kind of capoeira style cartwheel, all we're going to be doing is we're just going to be kicking it up a notch. So what we're doing here is we're still starting from, we're now going to start from kind of like the cartwheel position, but we're going to have our arms and knees bent. So think about this like a bent appendage cartwheel. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to rock down to my side until my hands touch the ground. So rather than diving into it, and if your flexibility isn't there, that's okay. Rather than diving into it, I reach for the ground. If I'm really doing it capoeira style, I'm looking in the same direction the whole time. And then after I base, I throw my feet over my head and come back up to kind of what's basically a horse stance. You want to give that one a shot?
Actually, the first time I learned how to do a cartwheel was through capoeira. So.
Face the camera.
You're making me go with my bad
Just because
side.
you're going to look pretty.
No, not my bad side.
That wasn't bad at all. That looked great.
Oh, thanks.
So now I'll go this way. I can control the distance on this one, but I don't want to kick you in the face.
Unless we're doing capoeira.
Unless we're doing or savate,
Or savate.
or kung fu,
But in this
or
case.
Muay Thai. All right, now it's your turn. Now you can do your good side. Or as Dr. Brian Stoops likes to say, your complementary side and your dominant side, I think is what he says.
Oh, hey, Koji and Wendy.
Oh, hello.
See you.
So here's what it is. Let's do 3 ninjutsu cartwheels and then 3 capoeira style cartwheels back and forth. So here's how I'm going to break this down as a routine. Ninjutsu cartwheel, I'm going to jump into it. 1, I'm going to go back the other way. 2, and then I'm going to go back the other way. 3. Then 3 capoeira style cartwheels. All right, I'm going to turn over until my hands touch the ground. Then I'm going to throw myself over. 1, I'm going to go back the other way. 2, again, it helps if you spot forward like an ice skater. I'm spotting. Back the other way. 3. All right, your turn. Abra's turn. Everybody clap for Abra. Woo!
You don't do that.
I probably just blew out so many ears on this
Seriously.
microphone. 1, 2, 3. All right, now try and turn them into capoeira cartwheels.
Okay.
So lower yourself lower. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. You got it. 1, 2, 3. So that's how we want you to just kind of work this basic exercise. The last thing that we're going to talk about is comboing this into some cool moves. Where are we at on time, Brett?
We're at 8 minutes.
8 minutes, great. We've got plenty of time for this part. All we're going to add to this technique now is a crescent kick, or in savate, I would call it a revers frontal. So a crescent kick or revers frontal, just like we were doing in our workouts before, is the foot comes up and it goes to the outside and it plants down. So if I'm going in that direction, this rear foot goes forward to the outside and plants down. Up and out. I put my hand here so you can see the targeting, or if Abra stands right in front of me and take a step back to your left, and you can see the targeting. We get a nice little nap out of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that move and I'm going to transition into a cartwheel with it. So even if you're not a high-level tricker, you can still do these flows. It's totally possible, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna fire this crescent kick to the outside, lower my body to the ground in the capoeira move, and kick over. I'm gonna go the other way, fire this foot to the side, lower myself to the ground, and go.
And
You
if
do
want,
too.
You can also come out with a kick as well.
Why don't you show that?
Maybe I'll kick first.
Very nice. Go back the other way.
And then
Kick, lower and flip, kick again. So it's a lot of fun if, for instance, Abra's standing here. Let's put her right here.
Yeah.
I throw this kick, she stacks the hit, so boom, and I'm moving on to the next person, ready to fight the next opponent. Just fun for some cool ninja-style choreography. We can eventually mix in the ninja sword if we really want to make this a fun Japanese action movie. I'm trying to get to the right. High five!
oh yeah.
For a reason!
What?
Do you want to jump in the air and do
Oh
it?
sure.
Yeah! Let's do that one more time. This side.
Okay.
Ready? Yeah! No, do it that way because I like seeing your face.
What?
I have no idea.
What are you?
Yeah! See if we can
We're
get that for the thumbnail.
silly. All right.
Alright, so we finished up our action flow for the day. Again, it's 3 types of cartwheels, although you only really have to work 2 with us, and adding the crescent kick to create combinations. Send us some videos of what you create. You can mix it with any of the other moves that we've done in earlier sessions before. Show us some cool stuff.
And if you have a partner, try doing that little reaction with your partner.
Or try getting them to dodge it,
Ooh.
which we'll talk about in a later video.
Yes, we will.
Let's get some gloves. Let's see here, whichever ones you want to wear. I'm going to feed mitts, and we're going to go into our striking arts. You send the clock up. All right. Striking arts, S series. We're going to work through numbers 1 through 9 very briefly. You should know these numbers by now. You've had them in the system for a couple of episodes. And then we're going to finish up the defenses for 1 through 4, which will also help us get through all the defenses for 1 through 7.
Yay.
So if you are going to be on Abra's side and you want to do the striking, take a step back, just so I have a little bit more room.
I'm going to rewrap this.
Rewrap that. Jab, your rear kick is your 1. So I'm going to say 1, and Abra's going to say...
I'm going to say...
I'm going to say 1.
Yes. Jab. Rear kick.
So 1.
Jab. Rear kick.
Your 2 is your...
Cross. Lead kick.
Your 2 is...
Cross. Lead kick.
And your 2 is...
Cross. Lead kick.
All right, let's keep going. 3.
Rear kick. Jab.
3.
Rear kick. Jab.
And 3.
Rear kick. Jab.
Excellent. 4.
Lead kick. Cross.
4.
Lead kick. Cross.
4.
Lead kick. Cross.
Awesome. 5.
Jab. Lead kick.
Take a step back. 5.
Jab. Lead kick.
Take a step back. Jab. Lead kick. Let me call the number. 5.
Jab. Lead kick.
Excellent. And one more.
Jab. And lead kick.
All right, going into 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 6 is...
Yes, it is. Okay. Cross. Rear kick. Cross. Rear kick.
6.
Cross. Rear kick.
And 6.
Cross. Rear kick.
All right, take a step back. The 7 is really long range.
Yes, it is.
Number 7 is...
Lead kick. Jab.
Number 7 is...
Lead kick. Jab.
And number 7 is...
Lead kick. Jab.
All right. Numbers 8 and 9 are our 3-beat combos. They also incorporate a hook. Number 8 is...
Rear kick. Lead hook. Cross.
Number 8 is...
Rear. Lead hook. Cross.
Just say hook.
Yes.
8 is...
Rear kick. Hook. Cross.
See how much better that rolls off the tongue?
Yes, it does.
All right, one more time for 8.
Rear kick. Hook. Cross.
Awesome. Number 9.
Lead kick. Cross. Hook.
All right, number 9.
Lead kick. Cross. Hook.
And one more time.
Lead kick. Cross. Hook.
Those are all 9 of your moves, so if you remember those, great. I'm going to throw some gloves on. If you don't remember them, you have plenty of video to review.
Reference. Yes.
I'm going to throw my gloves on, and we're going to go back into defenses. Has that green card come up yet, Brett?
No.
Awesome.
We're doing good.
We're doing better. The last time that we worked this, we worked our defenses and we focused mainly on the jab and a little bit on the block for the kick.
Yes.
So now what we need to get into is the block for the cross and the block for the kick again, but that doesn't really change much.
Let's recap the jab real quick, fast.
Yeah, so if Abra throws a jab at me, I catch it. My catch is my glove comes in front of my face, my head moves away, and I'm catching it just like a catcher's mitt in baseball. So she punches, boom, and I catch it. Now, she doesn't have to hold it out there like that. One of the things that she can do is she can immediately retract it. And so we get that nice little pop, that nice little combative pop. It looks like she's ready to go. And this is really great if she does that and then goes right into her kick, or if she does that and goes into her cross. Ah, the cross. What's the defense for the cross, you say? Well, the defense for the cross, we're just going to call it a parry. If you want to give it another name, you can call it an outside parry, or maybe even a slap parry if you want to call it that, just because it's kind of like slapping the hand out of the way. But I like to think of it as the energy is like if you give me a high five, we're really just meeting. I'm not trying to destroy Abra's hand.
Thanks.
So when Abra throws that cross at me, I'm just popping it. She throws a cross, I'm popping it. Slow down for a second. Watch my footwork. Watch how I move. As she throws it, I move off the line.
It's also moving his head off the line.
That time I was moving my feet more. Let's talk about the head. Now I'm moving my head off the line. So I just wanted to break that down by injecting everything all at once very quickly. So I didn't break it down. What my real point is that I wanted to show you that these moves happen. Now, I was just like, hey, let me show you the moves. Now let's break it down a little bit. Cool. Abra, can you stand here? Over here a little bit more. Abra throws her jab. I move my head off the line, same side as my own arm. I'm actually going away from my own arm. My head is going past it. When she throws her cross, I'm moving it into that direction, and I'm going this way because now I'm outside of her line. I'm moving outside. So for both of these moves, I'm catching on the same side and moving outside. Go one and go two. So I'm just moving away. This is going to be really great when we want to create dynamic choreography, because instead of just being like this, or even like this, or really like this, now more of my body is moving than just my hands. And I'm getting everything in there. Plus, for practical martial arts purposes, we're moving our head off the line, and we're training, because if our head moves, our body can follow. We're training to create more athletic movement in everything we're doing.
And setting up for potential counters.
So if Abra throws that jab, I move it out there, like we were talking about, we can go there. If she throws that cross, I can get that body cross. I can also start getting, she throws that cross, splits, and I can also move it off the line, windshield wiper, boom, take the hit. Because I've moved away from her weapons. So now let's put these in the context of the first four moves. Let's break down the kick defense first before I forget. When Abra throws her rear kick, Everlast gloves go up and down. Brought to you by Everlast. And I'm making mittens with my hands, the same kind of catcher's mitt that I was trying to make for the jab catch. And honestly, I should be giving the same energy to the cross. Just this little cat paw pat. So when she throws that kick, I give it a little bit of energy too. I'm slapping it back. I'm not just, she throws the kick, I'm not just taking it, that's not going to do anything. I need to send some opposing force in. So she kicks, boom, and I smack it back. She throws the front kick, I do the same thing, it just comes across my body differently. People get really confused with the elbows. We're going to go through this very quickly. When she throws the rear leg, I could slap both hands down. The problem that I have with that is that if I do that, and she throws like a cross or a jab or something, both my hands are already moving low, I don't have anything up.
You're not covering yourself.
So what I prefer is I prefer to have this, and this is mostly for choreography's sake, but it does apply combatively sometimes. She throws that kick, I keep this arm up because if she's going to throw another punch or something, I can get that in the way a lot quicker, rather than having to brush up and down like the Karate Kid. So for the front leg, block, let's say she throws a jab, now I'm already here. So if she was to do number 7, it's all right there for you. Let's go through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Ready? 1, I jab, I catch, parry, and I block. Make sure you kick it a little bit higher so I'm not reaching for you.
Yep.
Ready? Catch, block. One more time. Catch, block. So now let's do with number 2, the cross. She fires the cross, I parry outwards. She fires a lead leg kick, I block. So number 2 is parry, block. Number 2 is parry, block. Outside parry. Number 2 is outside parry, block. Why are we calling it an outside parry? Just to make it very clear, turn this way. When she throws that cross, I'm touching the outside of her wrist. I'm not catching the hand. I'm just slapping whatever I can get to.
There is an inside parry that you can do, which is why we like to differentiate as well. And
She throws it across, and it's great.
You
But
can also do it from the other one.
I can do it from the other one,
Yeah.
but I don't like doing this because then I'm going to get tagged. All right, so number 2, outside parry, block. Number 3, rear leg kick to the jab. So it's going to be block, catch, block, catch, block, catch. Notice that I am kind of staying alive in between the beats. I'm not just going... I'm trying to bounce right off of what she throws so that I look like I'm in the fight the whole time. Number 4. Finally, let's get number 4. Lead leg kick, block it, outside parry. I love this one because what this one does is that it makes you turn this way and then be like, oh crap. So if you ever get baited by that lead leg kick, which this is a very Jeet Kune Do combo, you will be training yourself to move right off the line if they start coming in to finish you off with that rear hand cross. So number 4 is lead leg cross. For me, it's block, outside parry. For me, it's block, outside parry. And for me, it's block, outside parry. And that's number 4. So that's our striking arts section for today. That's our S series. We will go over some more stuff the next time, especially getting through 5 through 9 for our defenses if we can. But for now, that's it for your kickboxing. Work this at home. Show us what you got. Let's move on to Saga 9 stick work.
All right. And remember, you can also shadow the defenses. Shadow both things.
We want you to practice those defenses on your own. Abra can put a video together for you to see, or you can check out Becca Musser's video on our Instagram. She does an amazing job of demoing her own shadow boxing with both the S series offense and defense.
Yes, she does.
Let's get into sticks.
And also, again, of course, please, please, please send us video of you all working this stuff on your own. We'd love seeing that.
Now for a break from our sponsors. Everlast. S&R Tactical. Blah, 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 blah. Cold Steel. Cold Steel liked our most recent post. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was cool because it was cold steel.
I'm
going to stand on the right. It's whatever. All right, so S series 1 through 9. Abra, if you could face this way just so that they can catch up. Let's do 1 through 8. Real quick review. Stick on my shoulder. 1. Raise it up. Turn around. 2. Flip it over. 3. Drop it down. Flip it over. 4. Drop it to the hip. Flip it back. Cut across. 5. Flip it over to a pronated position. Open it up. 6. 7. Staple it to the hip. Step out. Turn the hip for the thrust. Bring it back. We'll just go that far for now. I know we did 8 before, but I just want to get up to this, and then we're going to do 7, 8, 9 together because they work best as a set. Ready? 1, 2, prep, 3, prep, 4, prep, 5, prep, 6, step together, prep, 7. One more time. So when I say prep, that means flip it over or lower it or raise it. That just means get ready to fire the next angle. Prep, 1, prep, 2, prep, 3, prep, 4, prep, 5, prep, 6, prep, 7. Okay. So now we've done numbers 1 through 7 3 times. It's time for us to add 8 and 9. I know we taught 8 last time, but 7, 8, and 9 really work together as a set. The same way that 1 through 6 works together because you're constantly pivoting left and right, the cool thing about 7, 8, 9 is that now you're pivoting forward and you're turning your body into this kind of profile shape. It's really great for longer strikes. We really like to refer to this as like starting to build into the largo mano range, the long distance range where I can hit Abra with a stick but keep my own body further away, as opposed to the medio range where I'm presenting everything and we can touch each other with a stick.
Or as opposed to just touching our hands.
Touching the hands. Hands is the largo mono range,
Yeah.
hence, boom, we can defang the weapon. Medio is we touch the body with the stick. Quarto, at least this is how I like to define it, is we can hit each other with the butt of the weapon, or we can start grabbing onto each other, at least by the elbow, if not the wrist, but we can start doing our close quarters combat. So from 7, Abra's going to thrust out, so I want you to thrust down in that direction, facing that wall, thrust that wall. So take 2 steps back, fire your angle 7. Good, turn a little bit more towards the camera. There you go. She's going to rotate her wrist up the way that we were talking about before, and let the stick almost come towards your face, turn it up and over, and cut down. That big wheel, that redondo, is number 8. So 7, turn the wrist over, flip it up and over and around, see how it's staying inside the line of my body, drop it down. Let's talk about getting the hips involved with this one. From my 7, I extend. My hip is out. When I turn it up for that guard, my hip turns back to facing the forward direction. So this is a trap stance in Kung Fu. This foot can be empty, however you want to think about it. This idea is that now my hips are back facing this way. In order to generate that whip now, I'm going to turn my hips again, flip the stick over, and drop the cut through. So, hips turn sideways at the end of 7, hips come back for this defense, beginning our prep for 8, hips turn back out, cutting down for 8. 7, prep, 8. 7, prep, 8. And one more time, 7, prep, 8. Good. So once you get 8 down, we're going to throw on number 9. We're not going to go through the whole sequence over and over and over again because we've been kind of driving a bit crazy by doing that. Instead, we're just going to focus on 7, 8, and 9. You should have enough video content of 1 through 6 to get you through up to this point. Number 9 is a really weird cut. Oh, hey, it's our new friend, Mr. Compass Rose, or Mrs., or
Miss, it could be
whoever,
miss.
Miss, they, them,
Yes.
it.
No.
That's a personal choice.
Nobody goes by it.
I don't know that, man. The clown did. Anyways, the compass rose goes in multiple directions: northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, north, south, east, west. Angles 1, 2, 3, however you want to refer to it as. Our number 9 is from south to north. It's from groin to gullet. It's going from low to high. This is a really weird angle because we're used to drawing it across our hip for 4, or we're used to drawing it across our hip for 3. We aren't doing that for 9, but if we were to do this in the same position that we're doing 1 through 6, it would end up looking like this. There's a slightly awkward angle, and we're most likely not going to fire that. I mean, I'm sure there's some martial arts styles where that could look really cool. Actually, if you can find a way to put that into choreography, I bet it would look really cool. You just gotta know what you're doing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go from that same largo mono shape, turn up for 8, drop it down, and now what you'll see is that we've got this cool chamber for 9. So it's either back up here like this, touching my tricep, or it's down low like a tail out, kind of like 3. Either way, it's charged back. I really like to think about this as kind of like the samurai sword, like Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur or something like that. He's charging it up and he's getting ready to draw it. It is a draw cut. So as I do my 9, I'm raising the blade up from groin to gullet, up through the body. It is not coming at an angle. That would be 3 or 4. It is going straight up. And notice how when it goes straight up, it's now riding my center line. It's covering my nose. It's basically becoming a block. It would be really easy to turn this back into 8.
Or even to 1 if you wanted to.
Or into, well, and we get to that point.
I jumped
I'm just telling them to ride the same line up and down. But that is a very good point. When we start talking about transitioning from line to line, 9 to 1 is the first one that we teach. So Abra just skipped like 1 step for us. And gave away all the martial arts secrets.
Sorry.
Why would you give away all the martial arts secrets,
I'm really
Abra?
bad at keeping secrets.
Alright, Brett wants us to do. So, from 7 I thrust out. Why don't we go back to the positions that we were in? Step a little bit over that way, just so that you don't block me as much.
Which way?
Point that way. There you go. 7, hip turns. 8, it comes back up. Preps to drop. That's 8. 9, it's back here. 9, we spin back out and rise up.
Abra also jumped ahead.
It's okay. 7, we stab. We thrust. Prep for 8, we turn up the wrist. To fire 8, we turn our feet and we turn the wrist over. Big wheel back for our redondo. Notice how my lead foot now is up on the ball of the foot. The heel is up off the ground.
Pivoting.
We're pivoting. What that means is that when I want to do 9, all I have to do is switch that foot posture. So from this to that. Now the rear heel is up off the ground and the ball of the foot is up. So when I get my 8 and it's set down like that, in order to fire my 9, I'm just going to turn my hips back the other way and fire straight up that line. So from 7, rotate it over, cut down for 8, and now turn back out and cut up for 9. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, although today was really just 7, 8, 9. I'm going to show you from the front one time. 7, 8, this is the prep for 8, my bad. Firing 8, and now this is the cut for 9. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we can do with this. Later we talk about how we can do the ninja drag step, but for right now with the stick, it's really combative. It's just 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Vertical line.
And in general, you do want to try to still have your hand up during those strikes.
I was doing a bit of a weird sabery thing, even though I'm not trained in saber. If you want to learn really good saber work, go to Jared Kirby over with NYCSS.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just started putting my hand on my hip. I have no idea why. We prefer, at least for the stick fights, that you keep a guard up so that if Abra swings like an angle 1 at me, it's a stick. At least I can cover. This is still going to suck, but it's better than getting hit in the head unless you're like, oh, well, my helmet will protect me. That's not the point. She fires that shot at me, I can block, and then I can counter in some way. If it's a sword, there's different thoughts on what you should be doing with that hand. So let's just run through it one time, 1 through 9. You face that way, I face this way, just so that they have it at home to work out. We're going to do this 3 times in a row very quickly. Ready? Prep for 1. 1. Prep for 2. 2. Prep for 3. 3. Prep for 4. 4. Prep for 5. 5, prep for 6, 6, prep for 7, 7, prep for 8, 8, you're already prepped for 9, 9. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One last time, I'm just going to say the numbers, and I'm going to go almost at speed, but watch my mechanics. This is the example you want to follow for flow at home. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Sorry. You all right?
Shocking. I don't know why I just quoted Goldfinger. All right, that's it for our sticks today. Let's put these away. Show us your forms, tag that Saga community hashtag, and let's move on.
And on Thursday, we'll just work more on that and the defenses for those strikes.
That did look really cool. Thursday is definitely defense day.
It's defense day.
All right.
We have Brian share the stream, which is very nice. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Matt Berjevin says, good stuff, brother, and I thought that's what that was.
I thought that's what that was, too.
Yes. Maybe it's the compass rose, I don't know.
It's a work in progress.
As are most things in life.
What time is it? 7:40. We're really on time right now.
Yeah.
Wow, did we skip something or something?
I don't know. But Brett's gonna kill us if we don't keep going.
So let's go into Saga CQC. So today, Abra's going to be teaching us a combo that she's put together from her training in both Krav Maga, Muay Thai, both of those things.
And some GQ.
And then she adds in whatever else works for her. So why don't you just show them how you want to go through this? Do you want to do it one move at a time, or do you want to go through the whole flow? What do you want to show?
I'm going to show the entire thing, and then I will break it down. But as just to say where it came from first, most of this did come from Silverback Academy and Sean Stoopman's Krav Maga class. I want to make sure that is shouted out. And yes, I did not come up with this on my own.
But you put it together.
I put it together.
I'm going to have you stand over here so that you're closer to the microphone when you instruct.
Okay.
So everybody, be in her position. Because she's doing the cool stuff.
Dylan is going to be in his left lead. Right now we're just going to go from orthodox or left lead, but the idea is you should be able to do it from both sides. He is going to punch at me, and like I said, actually I'm just going to do the whole thing without explaining first. So just throw that jab, please. Here, elbow, elbow.
You can call it out, you know.
Fine. Knee, push back, and I step forward, and I'm going to
Oh gosh, you can kick a little bit lighter on the demo. Up and down and up and down and up and down with the pace with this one.
So now we do it again, and I'm going to say what I'm doing.
Please do. Again, this is why she's teaching the self-defense portion.
Dylan is jabbing at me. I'm parrying this off the line with my rear hand.
So would this be an outside parry?
It's an outside parry with an elbow parry. I'm not just doing the elbow parry, which I can do, but that's more of a KFM or Keezy fighting method thing. And it's also a little bit harder to get. So this hand is just there for 1 second to really guide that arm down so I can parry over it and kind of bridge his arm down with my elbow. And from here, it's the perfect place for me to come in and throw an elbow strike. I'm pivoting on that strike. I'm doing it more of a, it's not quite horizontal, it's like
It's a diagonal.
It's a diagonal.
It's an angle one elbow.
An angle one elbow.
Angle one elbow.
Angle one elbow. And then from there, if I want, I can throw in another elbow, an angle two elbow.
Or it's an angle one off the left side.
Or it's an angle, yeah, you're right.
It depends on the combination.
It does.
So break it down to what you've already just done.
Cool. I'm not going to jump ahead.
Progressive instruction. Bit by bit. I throw a jab.
Parry, elbow parry. From here, elbow, that diagonal, elbow.
Angle one elbow?
Angle one elbow. And now my other angle one elbow. I'm still in my left lead. Eventually that can change. I'm going to come behind him and make sure that my elbows are close to his
Sternum? Chesternum.
Yes. And I want to grab the back of his head and be really tight on his sternum. I don't want to wing out my elbows. Yeah. I want that to be as tight as I can get.
Even though she's got smaller limbs and a smaller body than me, her framework is so tight that I can't move. If I do have a super strong neck, which we all know I don't, I can maybe lift her up, but she'd still be holding on, and then she'd start eating my face.
I mean, there's other things. You want to weaken them. You want to
tenderize.
Tenderize. I was looking for the word. The elbows are supposed to be helping to tenderize the person.
She's actually putting some energy into these. If she wanted to turn into a headbutt, you don't have to teach a headbutt. She would go low and pull me into the top of her head. Boom, like that. So pull me down, boom, like that. I don't recommend practicing that with a friend.
No, we've done it with pads before, with mitts.
But even right there is a lot. So, where do we go from the top of the set? Go slow.
Elbow parry.
Call it out.
Elbow parry. Angle one elbow. Angle one elbow. Clinch. Tight clinch. Bringing the head down. From here, I'm going to knee him with my rear knee. I can drive it into his stomach. I can drive it into his groin. I can drive it into his leg. I can do multiple of these.
What would you do if you were doing it performing arts style?
I would go
with the top of the thigh.
Yeah, with my thigh to his stomach.
Or she could even, if we were doing it like David Doer style, go all the way to her hip.
That one I'm not as good at.
Just go all the way to your hip. Oh, yeah, that was way safer. I like the top of the thigh if you want to get a little bit of extension in there, but if you want to just hit them with your hip, you can put full body weight behind it without hurting them. This is also a great way just to practice it if you have a partner and you just want to practice your leg mechanics. Do know that you need to work on targeting with your knee for self-defense situations.
Yes. From there, so I've kneed him. If I want, I can step forward and I push him back with my forearms and I can do a rear teep. In this case, it'll be my left.
Oh, that was so much softer. I barely noticed.
His stomach, or his sternum, or even his groin.
I would just say center mass.
Center mass.
Center mass kick.
Yes, center mass kick. I can also do that. From here.
Let's go back so that if I get launched, I'm safe. Don't try and launch me.
Let's say I knee him, and I still step my rear leg back. I can still push him off. I can keep him with either leg, but right now I want to do it with the rear leg, just because it's more loaded and it's more powerful. And again, if you saw my conditioning video from before, the teep, you are kicking with the ball of the foot, not doing a stomp or push kick with your heel for your full foot. You can do that, but the teep is like a jab. I'm jabbing him
Oh boy.
in his midsection.
Now, and again, she's doing this from a Muay Thai background. If you were to do it from a Savate background, you could do the chasse frontal, in which case you're driving more with the heel, and you're pushing, and then you're loading even more into the hips. And the goal would be to really shove your opponent back. So if I stood just a little bit closer, planted and push. Now connect it a little bit more. You can get a little bit more push if you use the whole foot, but the teep is definitely going to do the more damage right off the top and still probably push them back if you've got your hips activated in it.
Yes. So want to
It's
do
just
again?
a thought.
Yes.
You want me to do the whole?
Follow along as best you can.
If you're on my side.
And if you are shadowing this,
oh yeah, why don't you just teach them what it's like when they shadow it?
if you're shadowing, just imagine that somebody is jabbing at you. You can also do it from the cross, but that would be a different motion. So you're parrying off to the side, bringing your in this case, your lead, your left up, and kind of combing your own hair with your hand while bringing their arm down. You're doing a windshield wiper motion. You're parrying, wiping it down, and now they're opened up. Elbow, elbow, grab in for the clinch, really get that tight, bring them down, do a knee, do several knees if you want, and you can step through, push them off with your forearms, and kick. Or you can knee, bring that leg back, push them off with your forearms, and then kick. You can do either one.
Can you show them the whole thing from profile with a little bit more space?
Yeah.
So yeah, just stand a little bit further back so that you can travel as necessary.
Okay. Punch.
Call it out, call it out.
Yep. Punch, parry, elbow, elbow, grab in for the clinch, bring them down, knee, in this case I'm not going to step forward, step back, push them off, and tap. Almost did something different. And kick. I'll do it again.
Give yourself plenty of space.
And parry, elbow, clinch, knee, down, back, and kick.
So now you've seen her shadow it a few times, you get to watch me get destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Go at a choreography speed.
Oh, well, it depends on the choreography.
A choreography practice speed.
Yes.
All right, ready?
Yep.
And action. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ugh. Ugh. Oh.
Sorry, I saw the punch coming in. I got instinctive.
She saw the punch coming in. So for those of you out there practicing your fight choreography training, remember not to have egg on your face. Fill the beats with counters that will not work. And I'm mostly over-exaggerating the amount of pain she's putting through me. I'm just also realizing that at that point, if Abra was to do that kick, no matter how she is just a ball of muscle and power. And you have to respect that from the training. So again, if you want to get as strong as her, start doing her hero conditioning sessions every Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon.
Even if you are not a ball of muscle, you can still do these and have good mechanics and be effective. Want to emphasize that too. Not everybody is as enthusiastic about fitness as I am, but they can still have good self-defense mechanics and good fighting mechanics. So please keep that in mind. But obviously, yes, be as fit as you want to be.
Condition at the level that works best for you.
Yes.
All right, one more time with this combo.
Okay.
I throw the jab. Abra parries off. Abra then fires a counter elbow.
Keep in mind, I'm framing on him. I am not putting my hand down at all.
She's keeping her guard up.
Yep. And I can actually use
The
this
elbow hits.
I can keep that hand down for a second if I want. Open up.
The elbow hits.
Elbow. Okay,
She grabs me for that clinch. Drop your weight just to pull me in a little bit. Pushes up into the knee.
This time I'm going to go forward.
Pushes me off of the body. Fires that kick to respond.
You preempted.
I preempted because I was going at choreography speed.
Yes. Oh, Ryan Ho is happy that I did this.
Yes.
I'm glad, Ryan.
Let's show this one last time from the other side, just so everybody can see what you're doing with the white.
Do you want
Go
to?
slow.
Do you want me to switch my
Go
stance?
slow. Don't switch your stance.
Okay.
That's why we turned.
Or,
Go slow.
Actually, I want to do it one time.
Go
Stance,
slow.
but we'll go slow.
I jab. She parries it off. She hits me with that elbow. She hits me with the next elbow. She clinches and pulls me down. She fires whichever knee is loaded. She pushes me off. She kicks with whichever leg is loaded. You don't have to show them it from the other side. They can practice it on the other side.
Just so you know.
You are able to figure that out, and
Maybe?
we are not going to do it from the other side tonight.
Okay.
The only main reason that we don't want to do it from the other side tonight is that we want you to develop the skill all the way through on one side first, and then train on the other side. If you need to mirror it to be on your right side rather than your left side, just flip the video around somehow.
My philosophy is you don't
With the
necessarily know which side will be attacked on. It's good to have it from both sides, being ambidextrous, but I do understand the mentality of train it all on one side first. I'm mixed on that,
But my mentality is for the purpose of a tutorial video
fair
where we have
enough.
a time limit and a
Fair
producer
enough.
that will explode like a ba-bomb from Super Mario.
Like a ba-bomb. Yes.
Like a ba-bomb.
Like a ba-bomb.
Ba-bomb. Brett ba-bomb. That we must just get through this today.
Understood.
And technically that's it for all the curriculum for today. What time are we at?
Well, you're at, this one went over, but you're at 52 minutes total.
Wow. Go us. Let's do another high five. Let's just, you just jump. I'll just stand. Come on, reach for the sky. Yeah, all right. Now I'll join you because your vertical jump's higher than mine, b-ball player. Yeah. Oh, that was kind of trash. One more time.
I think we're both watching out.
I don't care. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Proportions, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so that's it for today's session. We're going to go right into a Q&A. If you'd like to bring the laptop over so that we can talk to people.
Sure, and I'll turn off this music.
You can turn off the music. Or you can bring it on the chair so that you don't have to hold it up because we're not going to sit on the ground.
Why not?
Because it's not that kind of Q&A, and I'm not doing that, and that wouldn't be comfortable for me.
All right, I'm getting my water.
Abra's getting her water. You can get your water as well if that's what you would like.
But if you don't want to, you don't have to.
All right, so from today's session, do we have any questions? Do we have any concerns? Do we have any grievances? Grievances.
Is anybody aggrieved right now?
I'm so aggrieved. I got kicked in the chest stomach like 92 times by this pixie of doom.
Oh, you hush your face.
I am hushing my face. How are you all doing tonight, by the way? Is everybody enjoying the session?
I see some silverback people. Awesome.
Yay, silverback people.
I hope you enjoyed that little thing, that little tutorial.
Why? You're going to be disappearing in this shot in a second.
No, I'm not.
Abra, stand up! You're already making me look like 10 times taller.
Logan has a question.
Logan has a question. Got a question. Well, yes, ask it. Logan of beverage, which is not a drink, I think. No, it's like beverage, not beverage.
Yes, but he uses that name like to imply.
We're just waiting for your question.
Yes.
We're just waiting. Wow, Logan, you are the slowest typer ever. Should we have you call in?
He probably didn't realize that we had a... Oh, Abby.
Oh, hi, Abby.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you. We are glad you enjoyed it. It's good to have you back. And also, again, thank you for donating to us through Venmo. What was that, session 1 or 2 or something? She jumped in on that one, and she was like, how can we help you out? And then she helped us out, and it was awesome.
Reason for the prep step between 7 and 8.
I will demo that real quick.
First, just a real quick explanation. It acts as a bit of a guard when you're coming back.
So let me take this spot.
Never mind.
So when you're doing the prep for 7 to 8, if I'm at 7 and I need to go into a vertical cut, there's a couple of things that I could do. I could either just rail it back and cut down. In Filipino martial arts, the stick coming back up that path and poking is called a sungkit or a sungketi, depending on who's pronouncing it. That is a plucking strike. You can go to the chin, the nose, the eyes, whatever. In the case of what we wanted to design, I wanted to throw in the redondo more than I wanted to throw in the sunket, mostly because I was just going to do a thrusting template, which we also have with the Saga 9 template. So it was really more of just a logical choice. In order to get this to turn over, you need to turn your wrist. If I was to thrust at Abra and it didn't work, like let's say she parried it off, if I was to just keep my footwork the way that it is, and she were to cut at me, even if I put this block up, she's got a lot of targets to play with. So by going from extension And then using this footwork, see how extended I am? It's not so much just the prep in the arm, it's also the prep in the foot. I'm dragging back and protecting myself. So if I fire my 7 and then Abra blocks it and fires her 8, 7, I'm now prepping my defense. And this is a different position than what it is in that strike, but I'm just doing that to demonstrate a very clear point, making it very clear, almost SAFD, the weapons are crossed lines sort of way, to let you know that I'm defending and she's attacking. In reality, if I really wanted to play that Largo Mono game and still take her hand, I absolutely could. I'm going to go really slow on this. You're still going to fire your 8, but just hold it, okay? I fire the 7, she counters. She fires it into the 8 position and holds it right there. As I'm sinking back, if I want to play the Largo Mono game, I'm going to pull myself out of the range of the strike, but leave my stick there, and now I'm in that 8 guard. So this is a counter that can go to the hand, or it can go to the weapon. Either way, when I draw up this line like this, she fires that 8, I draw up that line, now I'm prepped to deliver it back down. And as I'm delivering it back down, I can either again move out of the way more, or I can move into the range more. It depends on where I put my elastico, my footwork that brings me up off the ground just a little bit, that little 3 extra inches of heel raise.
What I was also going to say is that if you want to add in that extra little strike, similarly that Sue heat, and then go into an 8, I believe you can probably do that.
Well, now you're just making stuff up, so be careful and don't kill me.
I am making stuff up. I am not going to kill you.
So she thrusts at me. I moved it off the line.
If you move off the line, I cannot.
Let's go ahead and, so if you thrust and I move off the line, but I just move back, if you follow it up with the Sumket, it's going to block, and then you can follow it up. So we're assuming that they're already kind of countering. It's just to build the system, and really it's about building the mechanics. I built this one so that I could have a whip chamber to play with. Once I rotate that wrist over and I sit back into this position, then I can just flip it over so I can use that generation of that hip, of that foot, to turn that stick over. It's not just my arm, it's my whole body. And then spoiler alert, later on down the line when you do the action version of the template, it's not just turning, it's actually stepping back.
Twist stance.
So into a twist stance. So you're going to get even more range manipulation out of it with this cross step. Abra would fire the 7, she would fire the 8 at me, I block it, step back, take her out, and then rush in for 9 and finish her off however I need to.
So Logan was just curious because he found that you could fire the 8 from his hip before prepping.
You could fire the 8 from your hip before prepping. Oh, yeah, totally. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about going from extension to just twirling it over.
Yeah.
We want to start the 8 from the top of the line. So you could start the 8 line low like that, or you could thrust up and then go. So if you did thrust up like to the face and then cut down, you absolutely could. If we're thrusting to the center, we're bringing this up and dropping it down, or we're thrusting, raising, and then dropping.
Because your head, you want to protect your head.
All of that is to say is that that is my methodology. What you're doing right now, Logan, is awesome. You're taking the lines, you're exploring the different things that you can do with them, and that is the goal. The Saga 9 template is not about you have to do things my way because my way is the way that it's done. It's about giving you a map that you can play with, and then when you go from one place to another place, you're learning a new route. So if you can design that route and you can show us what you're talking about, that would be really awesome because that is the goal of the Saga 9 weapons template.
It's your journey.
It's your story. And
it's your journey, your
it's
Saga,
your world.
your story.
You can put a little tree there. Any other questions from anybody today?
Ryan says, what's the best binging you've done so far? TV, anime, movies, web series? The more out of left field, the better.
I'm going to say that right before all this started, really, I binged Castlevania Season 3, and I lost my damn mind because that was the hottest fire I've ever seen. But then everything happened, and
yes.
What have you been? You've been binging?
A bit. I too did do Castlevania.
We did it together.
Yes, and
it was an experience.
Yes, I've been kind of just binging my way through the Americans.
which feels appropriate
It
nowadays.
kind of does. And I have things on my list that I need to get to. Just watching some movies too.
Yeah, honestly, we've been really lucky. Producer Brett's back there, and he's been introducing Abra and I to a lot of classic, really cool films.
Granted, I was introduced to Metropolis before.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, he's been showing us his DVD and Blu-ray collection.
Yes.
So what we watched Metropolis. You were watching Persona before that. We saw Shoot the Piano Player. And then Brett and I actually did back-to-back watching of Lone Wolf and Cub Part 1 and Part 2. The first one,
Sword of Vengeance.
Sword of Vengeance.
And then Baby Car of the River Styx.
That's the second one?
That's the second one.
Second one's Baby Car of the River Styx. So Brett and I got our samurai movie fix a couple of days ago while Abra was like, why?
No, I wasn't like, I was like doing other things.
You missed the scenes you wouldn't want to watch.
Oh, fair enough. But I guess that's a warning for people for those movies.
Great samurai films, though.
Velocipaster.
We're not. Did you?
I just did.
All right, and that's going to be it for today's episode. If you have any further questions to ask us, please feel free to send them in via message, via Instagram Messenger, via email. Our Gmail is saga.action.arts@gmail.com. You can also find this video on YouTube in HD uploaded by the end of tonight. We will have the time codes ready to go soon. Please, 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 please do follow those links and find our YouTube channel. Do subscribe to it. Do hit that bell. If you're already watching this on YouTube because you're watching this after it's been posted, absolutely leave us a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Just tell us anything because your engagement is how we're going to make the bread.
But just don't be too mean. What?
Oh, you be as mean as you want. I'll delete the comment. But let's finish up. Let's wrap up. Just a couple of quick reminders. The skill development sessions will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. If you're looking for martial arts training on Monday or Wednesdays, you can check out Dr. Brian Stoops' channel, or you can check out J.B. Yeager and Maryland Jeet Kune Do Academy.
Yes, and I believe Brian Stoops' stuff will be happening from 5 o'clock to 6:30, and J.B. Yeager's Maryland Jeet Kune Do online sessions are happening at 7.
Yeah, check them both out. We'll try and tag them in the comments.
Yes.
And if you would like to help us out, if you'd like to check out more of what we're doing, stay tuned to the Facebook page. Be sure to send us some stuff on Instagram. Tag us, hashtag the Saga community if you'd like to join the coolest new hashtag of action heroes doing cool stuff in their posts. And most importantly, if you would like to help us out, we are planning on launching our very own, I'm just teasing Brett. We are planning on launching our very own Patreon page for you to go through by the end of this week. We're just getting through some last minute decisions, some creative things that we want to put in there. We are really intending on building this up. If you have an interest in helping us out, we're not asking for a lot. We won't be asking for a lot. There will be tiers for you to buy into, and those will allow you to help us make this stuff happen as often as possible and make it even cooler. As you can see, we've already done a lot to design the set. We've added a lot to it. We're ordering some better microphone equipment so that you can hear us with less of an echo. We've been buying sound blankets. We're really trying to make this the most professional live martial arts training tutorial we absolutely can. It's all because of your support. We've already had help from Abby Monson,
Wendy Renee Cade,
Ryan Ho, and Asha.
Yes, great.
Asha Gray. So thank you.
Aisha.
Is that
I got, yes.
Yeah, you figured? Okay.
Absolutely.
Aisha Gray. So thank you, everybody who's already helped us out. That's been a huge help. We really will be taking anything that you give us and putting it back into the show. It's all about giving to everybody right now, building a community during this time, and having people to play with and training up the next generation of action heroes to train and inspire other action heroes. So thank you for joining in on our skill development session. We will see you on the next one.
See you tomorrow.
For my morning routine
And conditioning.
and Abra's conditioning.
Bye.